Yeah.
All right.
Hello.
How you doing?
Oh, good.
No,
How
messed
are
up.
you?
I'm doing pretty good. Not too bad. Just waking up. All right.
Good morning.
So, do you want me to just kind of kick it off?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a background because there's been a lot of thing around as well as a lot of rumors. The plan of my administration from the very beginning is to make sure that we can enable businesses and new opportunities throughout the city. And that is to back the people that voted me in. At the end of the day, listen, I don't got a crew to lean back on, right? I've got some affiliations. People do things for me, right? But that's out of goodwill. And at the end of the day, it's people like yourself that voted me in, not police department. Now, I think the fact of the matter is, I spent the first 2 weeks in office dealing with bullshit. I'm not even going to get into that, but I do not wish that exercise on anybody because it is literally like torture. The vast majority of self-serving and have made my life misery. From the moment I stepped off that plane and started campaigning, I was labeled as Chain Gang, straight from the mouth. Now, I know those guys, like I know you guys and a couple other crews, but that's the kind of narrative that started to get spun. So where does that kind of land us with this legislation? Last weekend, Friday to Sunday, me and my team went and wrote 20 pieces of legislation, spending 15 hours a day to make sure that we can make up for the 6 months, 7 months of drought. This includes, and I'm going to go through all of it, just kind of make note of this because I don't know which pieces of legislation you're going to be most interested in. There's the material reserve, protections for people whose masks are faces, 3 pieces of legislation for new businesses and taxes. We then got the airspace legislation. All of this is on the City Hall, by the way. Airspace, air marshals, and pilot license. This is the civilian airlines license. Pet licenses, so people can get pets. Police quality of life, which allows subsidies. So the PD would get free repairs, free food, and then those businesses would get the money back plus 20%. Automated toll tariffs, which is tolls on the highways for those that may be leaving the city. That's to enable people doing bullshit. Necessary violence legislation that protects civilians who let's say you got a civ friend of yours. They're in the middle of a fucking shootout. They pick up a fucking gun and hold it up so that they don't fucking die. That person doesn't end up going to jail because they tried to protect themselves. Social Committee of Los Santos Police Department. That's for Peach. That's for her to do fucking potties and shit. Anti-Extradition Act, which allows civilians of Los Santos who are arrested in Los Santos to refuse transport to Blaine County and be treated like a bag of money. And the Los Santos Public Photography and Video Ordinances, and that is there to enable higher tier of news jobs. So you can actually report and the cops can't just come up to you and be like, leave the area, because that doesn't mean anything. They got to tell you you got to go across the street, but can't make you leave an area that you need to document. So,
okay,
yep.
Out of everything you said, I think there's only, okay, I mean, listen, the truth is I don't know, I feel like in most cases mayors are dog shit, and we kind of don't ever really need mayors, right? Mayors have never affected me or really helped me very much in the past. But there's 2 things that there is somewhat concerns about. That's why I kind of wanted you here, because I'll be honest, I'm telling them I'm biased towards you because I've known you for a long time. But so I want them to ask any questions and then you answer them with whatever you feel.
Absolutely.
Some How of them food style stuff work.
Okay. I can absolutely explain that. So the way that the food stall stuff works is, as you probably seen, there's a lot of stalls that currently have, over different periods of time, been completely vacant. There's a stall that pretty much has been owned. I think is going to be owned until March 2025, and then another one where they're asking for $2 million. Some don't open up, etc., etc. As far as I'm concerned, your stall, Frank's, the taco shop, and Slime Shack, and they're trying to open back up, I think, this week, are the ones that are running it properly. You guys got food you got the people making the fucking, vegetables, and then you're selling at a price that makes sense, and you're making money. But the problem is on the
change our price once.
That's perfect. The problem is that there's stalls that are vacant and people are sitting on it. So the way that we solve this is by saying, okay, every week there's a $50,000 tax, and then there's the normal 10% tax that goes across every single business, regardless of what it is. Now,
why the 10%? I'm confused.
And I'm gonna explain that. So the reason the system it's been made that way is so that if a stall is dog shit, they're fucked. If they're literally not opening and just sitting there because they want to pretend that they own a fucking restaurant, but they open 2 hours a week, they're gonna bleed out $50,000 a week. Now, for folks like yourself that have a functioning stall, all of that money is gonna come back through subsidies. Now, we did a test run with the PD at the taco stall, right? And in 2 days, they garnered $25,000 with only getting one meal a day, right? So what I'm telling you is that you guys, and I can promise you this, all right, are not going to lose money from that $50,000. You are at least going to get that $50,000 back. Now,
No. I know the 50K ain't the problem. The 50K is not the problem in this whole situation. My problem is the 10%. Why do you want to take 10% of all profits?
what, like across all businesses or like on top of?
I don't care about other businesses. I care about my business. I'm speaking for my business. Why do you want to take 10% of my business?
So every
explain to me. Okay,
Yep.
when you told me about this, you told me it's gonna be, you have the option between 50K or 10%.
Correct.
Is that
Yes, it is the greater of the two. So it's like, if let's say you garner $1 million, right? Then that 50,000 doesn't count because you're already paying like 51,000, 62,000, whatever the number is. Does that make sense?
10% is 100K.
50,000 is the floor.
So you just 10% is 100K.
Correct.
So then,
Are you asking if you have to pay both or just one of them?
no. What
From-
I'm
okay,
asking
from
you
my
though, for the
understanding-
clarification, is it one
Yes.
or is it both?
It's the greater of the two.
No, brother. Stop.
No,
Is it one or is it both?
But he is answering it. What? Bro,
Yeah.
Alan,
What do you
are
mean?
you
Is it the
dumb?
greater? No. Bro, I'm not Riddle Master, right? This ain't fucking Batman. Is it? Am I paying 50K or am I paying 10%?
If you make over 500,000, then it's 10%.
If I make 1.1 million, he's gonna take 110K.
Yes,
Yeah, that's fucking
but not
stupid.
110 and 50.
Yeah.
No. Okay, that's fine. So then why am I getting punished for making more money than a fucking booth that's not making more money?
But that's how percent work.
Yeah.
If
So-
a booth doesn't run, right?
Yeah.
You're saying they're gonna have to pay 50K because they haven't been working for fucking 2 weeks, yeah? They only have to pay 50, but because I've got my booth under control and I have my employees working and I've got people running my business, I then get punished the extra 70K because I made more money.
So
I don't
you,
think the argument should be like you're getting punished. I think the issue is that I know what you're trying to do, Nino, but it's kind of backwards, right? You're kind of fucking
Yeah.
the people that are active and got their stalls like pushing
Yeah.
their product constantly. Is there not some other way to like
so
navigate shutting down these inactive businesses
so that
rather than taxing the people that are doing actual work?
That's a good question. So the 50,000 is to prevent the former. The 10% needs to be applied to every business in the city, whether it's a stall, whether it's a mechanic shop, whatever it is. Now, I think the big question here is why the 10%, right? That's not going into my pocket. The reality of the matter is that the only time the city is really making money is when real estate pops up. When real estate pops up, a lot of those sales end up in our budget. but that only allows us to like push up like materials and like boost prices for shit for very limited pieces of time. And I want you to try to picture how bad it is. The previous administration was able to max out everything, max payments on everything. PD pay was 3,500, sanitation was maxed out, all this shit. But the reason that they were able to do that is because the money was coming out of like a fucking offshore account and pretty much like an unlimited fund. 3 days after I got into office, all of that changed. And we started with like 900,000. And as soon as we did a single Sandy Saturday and then left it like at 25% throughout the week, it cost us 33% of the total budget. We had $900,000 left in the account. Now, that 10% that we're currently asking for is the starting percentage, right? I have no way to know how much money is being generated through every business in the city. So I have to make a guesstimate to get money that's going to pay for like the civilian like training airplane or pay for like shit that other people want to do in the city. If someone wants to make like a new business that doesn't have have something in it and we need a way to pay them, that's the only way to do that. So it's kind of the difference between either we can bring things to the city and pay people to do like more interesting shit, or we have $0 in the state account and we can't do anything at all. So it really is a matter of like, we either tax all the businesses or we don't tax any. Now, if you think 10% is too much, I can tell you right now, we have the ability to change that. 10% was just the starting number. If it turns out that you guys are printed so much and like we need to reduce it, that is why everything's split up. So we can go and say, all right, listen, we need to bring the tax amounts down to like 6%, whatever, right? We can do that, right?
I have a question. How are you gonna prove how much profit a business makes? What's stopping someone from lying?
Well, that's where the fun is, right? Transparently, here's one thing to keep in mind. The people that shut down all this legislation, a couple things happen, and this is going to answer your question, Alan. When we posted all this shit, there was a system in place that would allow us time to actually talk to you guys and everybody and allow these things to be altered. Instead, on my day off, one of the justices went to the food court, was convinced by Ursula to change the fucking legislation right there and then Blaine County, Andy Jones, and fucking Ursula repealed everything. So even putting the 10% aside, and I'm going to tell you why this is important. I woke up in the morning to a fucking email saying everything's up for vote. And there's already a narrative being spun as to things being snuck in. I spoke to Blaine County, and they told me that they want to control all this shit. They want even more rules to prevent what you are trying to imply, Alan, which is, how do you know how much business I'm making? That's however you want to do the books. Now,
do we get business accounts?
Correct.
Wait, so you're saying we do get business accounts?
You will, yes.
Okay.
But I can't do it. But all the yeah, you got business accounts. As far as I understand it, as soon as that business gets approved, there's going to be like a business account with your name on it.
I have to make a business. I have to request a business.
Correct.
Okay.
There are currently 14 businesses that are active. Now, I get where you're coming from, Alan, right? Nobody wants taxes, right? Like, why would you want to pay it if you don't have to? But the fact of the reality is that we can either, advance Los Santos for everybody, or it just becomes the status quo, right?
Yeah,
Same shit, wait for something. But if it's too much, I'm down to reduce it. I want you to keep that in mind.
Solution.
Yep.
Increase the sales tax on the food sold so that you know, that doesn't reflect on us, and then just take the 50,000 a week.
I would love to do that, but there's no way for me to do that.
Do you
But
make
those
a-
are
do you-
things we can. But those are things we can explore. Look, here the fact of the matter is, right? Like my team did over. We tried to do the best job that we could over the weekend, so we can start with businesses this weekend. This shit would have passed, and if there's any problems with the legislation, we can change it as things happen, right? So even with what you suggested, I'm down to try that, right? But the problem we're facing right now is the legislation is never going to be perfect for everybody, right? But I got to start somewhere to even be able to approve new businesses and get started. And if this fails, we got to wait for like an entire fucking month.
Oh,
So
that's
where does the
rough.
tax go that you pay when you buy food? So for instance, you go and buy a meal and you pay $100 tax. Where does that land? Does that land in your office?
I have
like
no
your-
idea. Like literally, our manuals have no explanations. It's the
what about the money that I paid to rent the booth? The initial payment.
I have
upfront cost
no
payment?
idea.
I think that maybe that might help your funding, though, if you that shit got sorted.
If any of the current funding was enough, we wouldn't have had 900,000 in the account.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If you found out where the money went from, A, where I rent my booth, and B, where people in the entire city pay their fucking 20% tax when anything they buy, that might help out, you know?
You're not wrong. The problem and the reality is that I have very limited access to construction.
Okay, and then another point I make is so let's say this we do this 10% thing, whatever.
Yep.
So am I going to be able to get tax return and dividends through the state?
So dividends?
I don't know if that's where I'm from thing, but it's good dividends. Is money that I take out of the business that goes back into the business, which is tax free.
Wait, ask the question again.
Do I get to submit tax returns
Yes,
and tax deductions on dividends?
correct.
All right, cool.
Yeah, literally.
Hey, then yeah,
You
yeah, go
can.
for it.
So listen, we're safe here, right? There's no cops. Listen, you
Yeah,
can
you're
cook the fucking books however you want. It was written that particular way. Some of the shit is made in language, so you guys can look. The material shit, the business shit. If you want to fucking funnel money through there, that is literally why I wrote it that way. Now, obviously, that opens you up for investigations and shit like that, but these fucking bozos have more eyes on me than they do on anyone in the fucking city, which is why they don't win any fucking court cases. You want to tell me that you only made like fucking 200,000? Just tell me that you're making enough that it makes your business look good if you want to do that. At the end of the day, I'm not the one who's going to go to the authorities because you guys voted me the fuck in. All right? But if there's some fucking dumb fuck, yeah, maybe I might go like, wait, why is this guy only giving me $50,000? Does that make sense, Alan?
No, that's cool. Yeah, I can do the books.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. I mean,
Like-
if that's the case and you don't really care, then yeah, shit.
I literally do
doing it.
not care. The thing is, I have to push this stuff in a way that makes sense, right? If I'm pushing legislation, which is like, hey, by the way, I'm not going to tax any of the, what do you call it? I'm not going to tax any of the this food stalls. Now all of a sudden, I got fucking marshals up my ass. Any other questions about like the food stalls and shit like that? Look, I want to rein this in, right? There is no rug pull here. You guys, along with a handful of other groups, are the ones that voted me in. If you guys want to stop everything that I'm doing, you have the power to do that. What the fuck am I gonna do, right? If you have issues, you can bring it up to me at any point.
So, when I had a meeting with Tilly, right, the 50,000, as you said, was to like motivate businesses to be open, right? Because they're gonna be losing money.
Anything that Tilly told you, she's with all, you know, I fuck with Tilly, but she's our executive assistant, and so she, you know, I don't know what she said, but she, you want to go to myself, Michael Oraz, or Mina. So
Okay.
they're the most in there for answering COC questions.
Alright, but so anyway, it's supposed to motivate businesses to be open, right? But is there any like how do you know they're not gonna just keep the business shut and they're just gonna pay from their personal money the 50,000 a week just to keep the business hostage anyway?
Well, that JJ, that's because the only thing people care about is money. And when they're getting bled dry, what? Wait, what'd you say, Miguel?
Just I know what you're trying to say, Ron, but 50K is a small sum just to keep a business.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's 200
You
grand
say that,
a
but like,
month.
who the fuck is actually gonna want to keep a booth paying 200K a month?
And they're gonna have to get a business license on top of that. So they're
You make them put an effort and bleed their wallet. That really is the only thing that's gonna make someone give it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but this kind of also goes back to, look, if any of the shit doesn't work, right, we can update the legislation, right? Like, I don't even know if some of this shit's gonna work. These are all best attempts, and then we see how it plays out. If there's holes that are affecting any of the voter base, we change it. If 50K is not enough and we got a better idea, we change it.
I mean, I don't know, Alan. I don't think this is like necessarily fucking guys, right? But like, I mean, listen, you guys make good money from this booth, right? Like on a weekly basis. I don't think this will fuck you over, but like, why not make the minimum like 100K a week, something? Since you guys are gonna be going way over the 100K a week anyways to begin with, because you guys are making good money, right? Like,
Well, I mean, now that he's saying that, I can re-expense everything and get my money back for everything. I don't care what the number is.
okay, that's literally not what I asked.
No. But what I'm telling you is,
okay, I'm mostly talking about other businesses that could possibly, hold these places hostage. That's what I'm talking about. I'm trying, like, if the goal is to fuck over these people who are just having these boots but not actually working here, like, I don't know, do you think it's the worst thing in the world to increase the 50K to, I don't know, 75K or something?
I mean,
oh shit, it's about to get spicy.
You could do that, but you might fuck over other businesses that are actually trying. That's the I feel like I think would be fucked up. Some people are actually trying to run a business.
Why do you care about other businesses though?
I mean, that's true.
What's
I mean,
your
that's
whole argument? Literally,
I mean, I
all you care
just
about is your
I just
business?
said 2 seconds ago. I don't care what the number is because I can get my tax return back.
Yeah, we understand what you said 2 seconds ago, but when Flippy asked you
And
that
that's it.
question, your
But then that's
comeback
it.
was
Yeah. Then
scared by other businesses. So
well, then I don't care. There you go.
if you could put other
If the numbers
businesses
have
out of business, then that's good for you.
Yeah, there you go. Then I don't care. Like I just said 2 things. I don't care. I don't care what the number is. It could be 300K for all I give a fuck.
So here's the thing. At the end of the day, right? I want to make sure that the businesses actually prosper in the city. And so I'm not going to go out of my way just to ruin somebody if they're actually trying. And it's the same reason why I reduced all like the tow shit, because I want tow companies to come out and for the state to subsidize like people that are doing it the right way, right? Instead of fucking moving around like local cars all day and printing $10,000 a fucking hour, right? So like at the end of the day, I have the steering wheel, and I do know that there's going to be a future man that can fuck with shit. So that's kind of where I come in to make sure that over the course of like the next 2 months that we make things grow, and wherever the holes are, we plug those holes up. But this should be seen as a starting point, right? This is not like set in stone legislation. This is just to get the ball moving, because we've had no new businesses for months now. And
it's only 10% on the profit the business makes, in it.
Correct.
Like so
That's what I'm saying. 10% of the profits. So whatever whatever you want to make the fee is, doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter how much money the kebab shop makes anyway. You'll only be paying 50K because all the profits go to the workers.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not even profit. It's salary. That isn't profit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's an expense.
Bro, Alan, you're actually so fucking stupid, bro. Honestly.
I think you might be the best business owner there is, honestly.
I think you're the reason why these legislations come into place.
So fucking dumb, bro.
Brother.
I think
what are you talking about?
like
So
nothing. You know what? Just let him. It's fine.
we're paying 70% of everything to our employees. That is expense. So only things that we get, we pay of us. It's gonna be
No,
you know
because we're an expense.
tax. No.
That's ours. I'm so confused as to how that's gonna work. All I know is that we're gonna be paying 50 grand a week.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's your books, right? Look, I mean,
But the
Yeah,
thing
do
is,
some dumb
we
shit on the books, Adam, please.
Honestly, I'll fix the books. Honestly.
You fucking idiot, bro. Just honestly, this is so. Just whenever they fucking want to thank you, they can thank you, bro. Yeah, how much money you make from this place?
Yeah. We piss them off.
Fucking so
just
stupid,
move
bro.
on.
Penny pinching.
All right.
Move on.
Anyways, all right. Let's move on. I think. Does anyone have any other questions not related to boots then, or does everybody not give a fuck about the rest of the shit?
I don't think so.
all right.
I don't know. I walked out of the warehouse and it said vote no on something. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, it's there's the Blaine County Sheriff's Office, Andy and the clowns are doing whatever they can to push the legislation back. They've said stuff like we need to show that Blaine County's doing more. They've literally strong arming the chief of police and myself to like I said, control everything. They don't want civilians running air. They do not want civilians running the material shit. It's all what if someone does crime. From the words of Cassidy, and I can swear he said this, is that people are too stupid. It needs to be written and worked with the police. So at the end of the day, they can suck my fucking dick. If you guys need things written, I'll do that. I need one thing I'm gonna request of you, Flippy, and this is what I'm telling every group. The shit that they pulled 2 days ago, as far as I'm concerned, was aimed at fucking over every single member of Los Santos for whatever their personal grievances are and to slow our development. And so if you can give me one person from your staff, they're gonna have access to every piece of legislation. So if any one of you guys for any future legislation like have a problem with it, you got somebody that can help give the feedback. And in return, I'm hoping that every time this shit goes up, we vote yes, because the legislation will be, reviewed by you guys along with other groups. I'm going to be rather transparent. I'm going to be trying to shut down every piece of legislation that's happening in Blaine County. I very strongly encourage you to also do the same. Because the way that they have changed the system, the way they are mobilizing an entire police department to vote against everything Los Santos, we're not going to get anything done. It's going to be this meeting plus more votes every couple days. And,
Right. Sounds
yeah.
good.
Is this someone you got now that I can start sending all the legislation to?
Who's not? Yeah. We'll talk about all that stuff.
Honestly,
Okay.
I would say Flippy, but Flippy gets lost in shit, and then it's probably better.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of words. Like, it's currently like 80 pages of
I don't like
written
words.
shit. Yeah. No, just someone that you trust that will like literally be able to see all the legislation that's coming through.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
Definitely Ellen. He'd be super.
Oh, yeah. Alan would be great.
All right.
Guys, come on. He's already
He
quiet.
hasn't said a word since we played. Don't be nice.
Are y'all not looking to make a mechanic shop?
Hell no.
I don't
think we have
so.
PTSD from mechanic shops with Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan's been doing it for too long, bro.
Okay.
I don't know, Jordan. There's this nice place up in Harmony and stuff.
All right.
Mechanic shops.
I'll do it, Jordan. I'll do it.
Pointless.
Is there any legislation or things that you're looking to get done? Any problems? Like, literally, we can change whatever the fuck.
What's the deal with the business deal? Like, I know with the growing the vegetables and stuff, I can't be like even employed there because I got a felon. I could go
Wait,
and
what? Employed where? Vegetable stuff?
Yeah,
we
like
put
my
you
business
for-
proposal for HYDRA agriculture.
Oh, that's why we need this passed. This all allows us to start approving businesses. The moment this is approved, we're literally going to spend like all our time approving and making sure businesses pop up.
Well, according to the way it was written, I don't know if it's changed or not. I haven't checked, but I couldn't have anything to do with it because I got a felon.
No,
Yet I could-
Los Santos
I can own a
County,
food stall.
unlike Blaine County, anybody can own a business.
Okay.
But the,
Yeah.
The previous mayor, remember, I had a conversation with you. It said that for producers or suppliers or whatever, no felonies could be employed. Is that something that's like not a thing anymore?
Not anymore. In fact,
perfect.
I believe it's specifically written in the business proposal one that felons can own businesses. I'm not going to stop felons from owning businesses. It's fucking idiotic. You know what I mean? Like, if you're the only thing you need to watch out is like don't commit felonies in the business because that opens up for PD to try doing shit, and that's outside of my control. The only thing you'd be limited from is like, let's say you want to make like a fucking target range business where you can bring guns in or whatever the fuck. That probably wouldn't let you. Like that'd be prohibited because it's got firearms. One thing I'm gonna make note: there is currently legislation going up for interceptors and all kinds of other shit. I do not sleep on the shit that Blaine County is passing. This isn't some petty shit that I'm letting you know about. It's all enhancing the police department in various ways. Do keep an eye on it. So, and you guys do have the ability to shut any of that shit down. It's 25 signatures. That's it. All right. Any other questions? All right. Flippy, I'll give you a call later. If you can get me a name, like I said, I want to send you like all the shit. So like, you know, like your crew knows what legislation's coming in and what's coming out. So if like this way, you know, if the 10% thing happens, you'll know like a week in advance that it's something that's being considered and you have somebody to like, you know, flag that up for you. And please go and vote yes. The votes are up right now. Like I said, that goes, if that ends up getting ripped, well, literally everything's fucked for a month.
What is that you want? Does this just say like fucking Los Santos or some shit?
Yeah, you're gonna see on the ballot, and you just put yes on all of it.
Okay.
Yep. And it closes tonight, and there's a lot of fucking cops that voting no on that. So.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Appreciate it.
All right,
Appreciate it.
Goodbye, sir.
Yo, Alan, how fucking stupid are you?
Fucking.
This guy said dividend.
All right.
All right. All right. Appreciate it.
Flippy, you take care. Hey, is Ash still with you?
Yeah, she is. She is.
Okay. She's on the COC, but I think she might have a different sleeping time. But
I don't know what her sleep schedule is nowadays. She wakes up for 2 hours and goes to sleep.
Oh, gotcha. All right. Yeah. What is what's your energy level on going after Blaine? I literally want to start the biggest political party in Los Santos and shut down this PD shit.
If I'm gonna go vote, I'm gonna vote yes for your shit. I might as well just vote no for them anyway. So.
Well, it's gonna their vote is probably gonna come later down the week. I've got 5 different circles looking to repeal every PD related piece of legislation. I want you to keep this in mind, Flippy. The DOJ is literally changing laws in the moment that suits them. One of these days, that's gonna.
Yeah.
You do a crime, our court case isn't up yet. They change it. Now you. So.
Okay. Sounds good. You know, we have a going, bro. I'll hit you up
take care.